could do all day long. Watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
On first down, it's Herbert. And incomplete to open things up.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early. First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does, and in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are, and you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
The 7th play now, this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. Badgley able to knock this one through. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Mahomes going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Do what we do. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here comes Nasir Adderley from his in. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now in just his first 3 carries. One quarter in the books. 8-3, our score. Here is Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Out to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Frankly, home to get the sack. After the sack on first down, Herbert finds the open man. It's Mike Williams.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From the 38, Mahomes, complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill. Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. On the move to his left. Oh, he shifts past him. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 27 yards. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Herbert on first down now. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert now. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To the air again, Herbert toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This just a 24-yard attempt. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Mecole Hardman. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Chiefs.